Good morning, and thank you for joining me for another edition of the Regina Rosa Celeste Show, where we talk about being healthy, happy, and peaceful in all areas of our life. And I'm so excited because today I'm here with I would say, becoming a dear friend, actually, Dr. Trish Murray.
Absolutely.
And I have known each other for a while now. I'd say about a little less than a year, right, Dr. Trish?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's been an incredible journey. We met through business, and the more I get to know her, the more fascinated I am. I learned another cool fact today, which she'll share in a moment. And today's topic is all about her new book, which is super cool. It's actually an amazing, I think, a manual for helping people navigate the windy and twisty turns that happen in the medical system and also through health and wellness. So I'm really excited, Dr. Trish. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, Regina, thanks so much for doing this with me. The book is launching yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And people may see just below with my name, Dr. Trish Murray. And after that, you'll see nomorебandaidsbook.com. That's the landing page for the book. So if you go to that, all you're going to do is follow a link to Amazon. And for 99 cents, folks, as we go through this, if you're intrigued, go to the landing page, follow the link to Amazon, and for 99 cents, get the Kindle version. You don't have to have a Kindle to buy a Kindle digital version of a book. You can download it to your cell phone. You can download it to your iPad, your desktop, your laptop, any of that stuff. But go ahead and get it if what we start talking about intrigues you.
I love it. I love it. So, Dr. Trish, if you can share with us a little bit about your journey and, kind of what, so your background, just to talk about that for a moment, your background was traditional medicine, right? And you studied traditional healthcare. And, one of the things that I've really enjoyed learning about you is this bridge that you've created between the traditional medicine and alternative medicine. And so you've shown people through your own journey and experience and now helping thousands of people how to do the same. Tell us more about kind of what got you into medicine and
Thanks for asking. I mean, I first of all didn't go to medical school till I was 35. And I was a high school public teacher before that. So, and then I just keep learning. I've gone on to, I have 4 specialties in the medical field. One was I was originally an internal medicine physician, a primary care doctor. But I got so tired of pushing pills, because that's not why I went to medical school. I'm a doctor of osteopathic medicine. I'm a specialist also in osteopathic manipulation, which means I use my hands to treat people's pain. And my chapter in this book, No More Band-Aids 2.0, Finding Answers in a Broken Medical System, my chapter is called The Missing Link to Healthy Aging. And I talk all about the connective tissue and my specialty of osteopathy. Other than that, I also have a specialty in functional medicine and energy medicine. So I just keep trying to learn because of my own issues as well as all my patients' issues. And I just want to help people. I have one foot in traditional medicine and one foot outside because traditional medicine hasn't always helped me either. So, I'd love to share a little story. Is it all right if I share my slides at this time with you?
Yes,
Regina?
I love the slides. So I'm going to hit share screen. Oh, no, you're going to hit share screen. Haha.
Yeah, why don't I try that and see how it goes. So share screen.
Try to share our screens. That would be a mess.
Oh, this is the one I want to show. And I'm going to go to the top of this. That slide right there, of course, we'll talk about, which is coming up this weekend. But let's go to the beginning here. So can you see this okay, Regina?
Yep, it looks great, actually. We see the cover of the book and we see 2 pictures, which this is new news. I just learned this today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know a celebrity here. This is so cool.
Well, a lot of people actually, you're right. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I was on the American Gladiators television show, as you see on the left with all of us crazy contestants hanging out. And I'm not the platinum blonde looking at you with the red sweatshirt. I'm the one with the white t-shirt looking out at you. I'm about 29 years old there. And then on the right, of course, I'm practicing one of the events on the American Gladiators television show. The reason I bring this up today and in relation to my new book, folks, is I was an elite athlete back in my teens. Remember, I just said I'm 29 in this picture. I had a devastating injury to the base of my spine at the age of 19, 10 years before you see me in this picture, where I went to every doctor, you know, in the traditional model, and they could not help me. And I had to find my own way. And one surgeon said to me, strengthen the muscles around the injury. And so, to be honest, I went into another sport and became a competitive bodybuilder. And that led me down the path, eventually 10 years later, to be healthy enough and strong enough and an elite athlete enough again to compete in the American Gladiators. And the other thing, you know, so that led me to the chapter I talk about in this book, No More Band-Aids 2.0, Finding Answers in a Broken Medical System. And my chapter, as I say, this is a collaborative book. So I've written one of the chapters in this book. And I just want to take a moment and let people know what the chapter's about. It's about the missing link to healthy aging. And what it is it's about one of the holistic systems of your body that actually most people also don't know enough about. And that's your connective tissue system. And Regina, you might be right into this with your yoga instruction that you do with people. That's awesome. Is that the fascia, or the connective tissue, or what I love to call the fabric of life, surrounds everything in your body. As you see on this slide, are there really 600 muscles? Or really, is there a bunch of different fascial connective tissue bags that the muscles are all, or the muscle is contained in? Because the fascia is a holistic system of the body. You're all familiar with it, even though you may not know much about it. If you look at this image of a grapefruit, everybody's peeled an orange or a grapefruit, especially down in Florida where you live, Regina.
Absolutely.
And when you peel an orange or a grapefruit, you remember that you're going to engage this thick white stuff around the outside, just under the skin. Folks, that's fascia. But also, do you see how this looks like a pizza pie? And someone, when you're peeling an orange, may say to you, can I have a section of your orange? And you're able to peel one off and hand it to them. Folks, these lines that cause the slices of pizza are fascia. It's like the massive organizer of the organism. It's a holistic system. And also, if you look really closely at these images and the little pieces of pizza, you'll see little bags almost where the pulp and the juice is in little bags. So this system is amazing. Now, the other thing is, but why did I call this the missing link to healthy aging? Well, folks, if you look at this image, you see on the left a sponge that's been taken out of where? The ocean. If you look on the right, you're looking at a microscopic image of the what? Fascia. The fibers that make up fascia is very much like a sponge. So if you think about it, if you leave a sponge on the counter overnight, what's going to happen to it? It's going to dry out. And when you pick up the sponge in the morning, what's it going to feel like? It's going to feel stiff. It's going to feel like if you try and squeeze it and bend it, it won't do it very well, will it? But if you hydrate it and you then bend it and squish it and squeeze it and mush it, what happens? It becomes more pliable, more hydrated, more supple, more stretchable, more mobile. Your connective tissue and everyone's connective tissue is just like fascia and just like a sponge. So why do you feel, have people felt like, let me stop sharing a moment here and we'll chat a bit. Uh-oh. I hit stop share and it didn't stop. Let me see if
it did.
Oh, it did? Okay. Because let me escape my slides and go, let me bring you back up. Maybe that's, because I don't see you. So there we go. So the point I'm trying to make here, folks, is that when you get up in the morning, if you feel stiff, if you feel tight, and some of us that people live in pain, you may not even be able to stand up all the way upright first thing in the morning. I don't know, Regina, you're a regular yoga instructor and stuff, but sometimes, So
even though I do stuff,
Yeah, and I feel it too because I've had injuries in the past, and this is what saved my ability to keep moving and decrease my pain and help me heal, was the fact that you need to hydrate, and you need to hydrate your fascia by stretching and moving. And in my book, the chapter, not only do I teach you all about these holistic systems in the fascia, I also challenge you to 21 days of doing very specific stretching and movement exercises that if at the end of 21 days you feel better, then hello, this is a big part of your issue and can solve your problem.
I love it. And you know what I enjoy so much about when you share, Dr. Trish, it's like you make it so easy, right? Like you give such great, simple examples. And to think that, you know, someone like yourself who was an athlete, who, how many athletes I know that, I mean, I never thought of myself as an athlete. Someone recently called me that and I was like, I'm not an athlete, you know, in my mind, right? But anybody who's doing some type of, you know, especially like what is the word I'm looking for? Any level of self-care when it comes to health and wellness, whether it's yoga or, you know, running or somebody, you know, spinning, those types of things. Like it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be an athlete to get injured.
Oh, absolutely.
You walk down a set of steps and get injured. And what I'm hearing you say, which, you know, I really appreciate being reminded of this, because when I was in my teacher training, the level 1, we talked a lot about this, and level 2 even more, which is about the fascia and about stretching and opening up the muscles and allowing them space to breathe, because we're very mobile. We move around a lot and sometimes not enough, right? Like, especially now in our world, a lot of us are sitting more than we're used to. And so it's like that idea of, what is that? Set it and forget it, right? It's not like that. Like you have to actually, even if it's just 10 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day of stretching, it really makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I teach every single one of my patients a very basic, gentle stretching routine. And then we've also, if someone does the routine I give you in the chapter, and as I say, meets the 21-day challenge, and they're like, wow, I'm feeling so much better. And it's not difficult. It'll take you about 15 minutes a day, maybe 10. That's all. And if you're like, wow, this is really making a difference, then we even have a Discover Health Movement membership where you get access to 3 different movement classes a week. One is called Self-Myofascial Release, where we're going to give you the tools where you can unwind and unroll the fascia and the fabric of life throughout your whole body and learn how to do that for yourself. There's another class called Movement for Longevity, and the final class is a yoga class. But again, many people tell me, yoga is not for me. I don't do yoga. I can't twist myself up, you know, like the yogis do. And I say, you know, there's all levels of yoga. And the idea that the class we're doing is more, because again, my chapter is called The Missing Link to Healthy Aging. So really the target audience, even whether you're 25, 55, or 75, folks, you need this. But the other story I tell in my chapter is not really about my American Gladiator story I just shared. It's actually, fast forward another 10 years to me being 39 and just finishing my residency program. And during residency, I had like 0 time, or I didn't take the time to care for myself. And I gave away all the knowledge, or didn't give it away. I just didn't practice it. And I can remember, and I tell this story in the chapter, that I was on a hike with a friend one day when I was 39 or 40. And I, was like, I can't go as far as I used to go. And I was winded and I was exhausted and I was downright out of shape, folks, because I hadn't been taking care of myself and I was working all the time because of my career. And I came across this log in the hiking path, and it was maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet that I would have to jump over or get over. And Regina, I had to stop and figure out how to get over it. I was 39 and I had been an elite athlete. And I was faced with the fact of, oh my God, I feel like I'm 85 and I'm only 39 or 40. And that's when it really woke me up to what we're talking about in this chapter. That if you want to decrease your pain, if you want to be able to move and age with grace and fluidity, you've got to understand the fabric of life, your connective tissue. Because if it gets tight and dehydrated, folks, it surrounds every organ, every muscle, every vessel, your arteries and veins, every nerve. It surrounds your brain. Guess what? If it's tight and the bags are squeezing everything, you're not only going to have pain, you're going to have dysfunction of your organs. You're going to have dysfunction of your brain, your nerves, your blood vessels. It's not good. So again, if you want to learn more, just below here, go to nomoorebandaidsbook.com to link and get the, again, the digital version of this book is available yesterday, today, and tomorrow for only 99 cents. And if you go back to that landing page and put in your order number, folks, you get $400 of valuable gifts that are given by all the authors in this book. Because again, I'm not the only author. There are a total of 7 authors in this book. And there's a chapter on hormones. There's a chapter on inflammation. There's a chapter on ADD, ADHD of kids. There's a chapter written by a nutritionist that healed her own young children when they were like 2, 4, and 6 from seizures. They all had them. And she realized that it was due to the toxins and the poor diet that they had been eating. And she cleaned up their diet. And of course, all the medical doctors said diet doesn't have to do anything with it. She cleaned up their life and their environment. Her children are now in their teens and have not had seizures at all, any of them, for over a decade.
Well, and what's so fascinating about that is, number one, it's preventable, right? This is stuff that if we had the education, which is available, it's out there. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because I feel like there's so much and there's so much, unfortunately, misinformation that sometimes it's hard for people and they think, well, I don't have the answers. Well, they're here. I mean, for $1, like really, it's less than a cup of coffee. Like I'm excited. As soon as we're done, I'm going to get my book. And, I want to thank you, Dr. Trish, because you reminded me that in all transparency, when you asked me, about, you shared with me, not asked me, you shared with me about your book. I was so excited because, wait a second, we all have such amazing resources. And, being an author myself, I realized how many people don't get the messages about what we do because there's so much information that people just get inundated. And I was so happy when you asked, how can we do more together, right? Like there was an opportunity for me to get on your show, which I was so blessed to be able to get on your podcast. And then we're creating an event together with 7 other experts on health and wellness, which is super cool. And that's actually this Saturday. I'm so happy that you're part of that. And if you could share with whoever's watching a little bit about the Peaceful Pivot Conference and why you said yes.
Absolutely. I was so honored to be asked to be part of this. It's this Saturday, folks. That'll be June 27. This week's busy for me. It's like, what day are we on? It's Saturday, June 27. We start at noon, right, Regina? And the general admission, folks, for like the first 3.5 hours, where 9 different presenters are going to be presenting on all sorts of topics similar to the book. And these aren't even the same presenters. So folks, get the book, learn from that 7 people, and then come on Saturday and learn from the 9 presenters. It's all, the thing on Saturday, folks, is free. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's just going to take a few hours of your time. And if you're struggling with things related to hormones and pain and aging, or even with your kids, it's going to help. The tools are here for you. And Regina and myself are people out there just trying to give you what you need. And we're so passionate about it. Regina, you have been so passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. And we just want to help people. And we all have our own path. I know you have your path. I have my path. Everybody's got their path that brought us to where we are, but it works. So come on and just participate and figure out who you connect with the most and then reach out to them. But we're all just here to try and help you. And now I had a slide. Would you like me to bring it up? I know it's all over your Facebook pages. Let's bring that up.
That'd be awesome. And then Scott Magda, he's actually one of our speakers. He popped in to say hello. And Scott's going to be on the show too, or not show, but on the event this weekend. And I feel so blessed that there's such amazing leaders in our circle and in our world that are supporting the cause and also helping educate people. So really, really cool. And how all this ties in to the piece, right? I think one of the things that I'm most blessed about is as I'm diving into creating this community and it, it's interesting how you were sharing, Dr. Trish, and we'll wrap it up soon just for time factor. I know, you're busy and those that are watching are too. So I just want to make sure that I mentioned this, which is so cool because your journey started not on purpose, right? Like you were talking about, you were an athlete and it kind of fell into your lap, and the rest of your journey came from there. And life is so beautiful that way, right? Like I didn't know that when I started on my path of peace and this idea of accessing internal peace, I'm not peaceful every moment. I mean, those that know me really closely know that I have my moments. In fact, I had one yesterday. Like I lose my patience, I lose my focus, and it's all about bringing that back. And it's the same thing with health, right? It doesn't mean you're not allowed to have an ache here or there, or that you are immune to feeling yucky. It's just that contrast and that opportunity to uh, control, not even control, what's the word I'm looking for? Prevent, right? Prevent things from getting worse. Prevent your body from giving up on you and your insides. Like, when we talk about the fascia, it's so important because we don't see those parts of our bodies, which is why it's even more important to take care of them inside.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Inside out, right? We want to feel good. We want to be peaceful around our health and wellness. And also we want to be empowered.
Well, such a big part of health also, I wrote a different book. My first book was called Make a Dent in Chronic Disease. And DENT is an acronym of a curriculum I've written. And D stands for detox, E stands for exercise, N stands for nutrition, but T stands for transformation of stress. And folks, stress is such a big part of illness and health, meaning do you have a management practice? And are you working on these things? All of it in some way or another. And we're all on different stages in whatever thing you're focusing on. But peacefulness and finding a way to maintain your peace in your life, to maintain your health and your wellness is so important. So please make sure that you go and follow the links in Regina's information to register for this Saturday's program, because it's, again, the general admission is completely free. And then I believe in the afternoon, we're doing that as a small cost to it, a VIP healthy happy hour. So you can come and ask questions specifically of myself and all the other presenters. So don't miss your opportunity. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be super fun. Super, super fun. And I'll pop the link in the live when we're done. So Dr. Trish, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to share with my community about your awesome book, because I think it really will help a lot of people. So for those of you that haven't already, definitely get your copy. It's nomoorebandaids.com, and it's all about natural health and really getting to the root of your health problems in a simple and easy way. So tons of resources there, tons of expert knowledge, and such a great book for $1. Like really,
yeah. So it's nomoorebandaidsbook.com. And, again, don't forget, there's also $400 worth of value of gifts that are just given to you if you go ahead and go back to the landing page and put your order number in. So cool. Regina, thank you so much. I look forward to hanging out with you some more on Saturday, and hopefully people will come to that too, the Peaceful Pivot Health and Wellness Conference.
Can't wait. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome day. Thanks so much.
Bye, everybody.